Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. In this class, we'll be discussing about height and width in CSS. So, how can we make use of the height and width properties in CSS? So, the CSS height and width properties are used to set the height and width of an element. So, we use the height and width to set the measurement, like to take the measurement of our element. So now, the CSS height and width values. Now we have different values for our height and width. So the number one is auto. The auto. This is default. The browser calculates the height and the width. So if we set any of our height or width to auto, that is, it is left to the browser to determine the height and width of our element. So now the length, number two, the length. Now the length, this is a condition whereby we define each giving it a value, either in pixel, in centimeter, and the rest. And number three, we have the percentage. The percentage define the height or the width in percent of the containing block. So that will be in percentage of the containing block. So initial, that is number 4, which is the initial, set the height and width to its default value. So normally every element in HTML has its default value. Then number 4, inherit. So the height and width will be inherit from its parent value. So now let me show you all this. So we are going to start with the initial. I've created a div right here, a div with the class name container, and I have the word the tech guy in it. So let's go to our CSS. So container squigglies. So let me say the width. No, let me give it a background color so that we'll be able to see our initial value. Be able to give it a background color. Let me make it powder blue. So now this is our initial. Now you see this is our initial, that is the measurement of our element, the div element. So this is the default value, the default state of our element. So now you can see the size. You can see it here, the tag guy. So this is the size of our element. So let me expand my screen. So now as you can see, the width is you can see that the width occupies all of the screen. So let's check let's make use of let us inspect our website so that we can see the initial value of the div element. So let's see. So let's go to our box. Now as you can see, this is the initial value here. So the initial value is this. You can see the initial value is this. So that's our initial value. So now let's proceed to the next. Now the next, I will be setting a value for div. So now let me say width. The width, let me make it 300 pixels. And let me make the height. The height to be, let me say 300 pixels as well. So now you see, this is different from the initial. Now you see, this is different from the initial. It's different from the initial. Now you can see the height and the width. So the width is 300 pixels, while the height is also 300 pixels. So this is how we can make use of the length aspect of elements in CSS. So now let's make use of the percentage. So percentage. Let me change the width here from the width. Let me say 30%. And okay, now as you can see, we are having our width to be 80%, while our height is 70 pixels. So now this means that no matter how big our screen is, the height, the width will maintain its 80%. No matter how big, no matter how small, it's going to maintain its own 80% of the website. So that's how you can make use of your percentage and other measurement um, parameters together. So thank you.